Hi there, this is the Shadow Ranger back with another video. I'm still currently working on my first edition of my new series that I'm going to put out on YouTube, My Favorite Mid-Carders. As I mentioned in the last video, my first one's going to be on the Disco Inferno. And I've been enjoying putting things together, reliving some old moments, watching some old clips on YouTube. So expect that coming out within the next few weeks or so. This video is my hopes for TNA in 2011. Overall, TNA had an okay year 2010. It's had its ups and downs. And I'm generally looking forward to what happens in 2011. And these are just a few things that I typed up that I would like to see. First and foremost, I hope that in 2011 TNA leaves the Impact Zone. I hate the Impact Zone crowd. A lot of them aren't wrestling fans, just people that are just tired from walking around the park all day and want to go somewhere for free and just sit down and watch a show. And a lot of the wrestling fans at the Impact Zone have become spoiled and jaded. I think they don't appreciate having the opportunity to see this show every week. I understand that it's a money issue, and I'm not saying go on tour and be in a different city every week. You don't have to be in a different place every week. But how about maybe every 2 weeks or every month? You can still keep the same taping schedule, but film 2 weeks in this location, and then go somewhere for the next 2 weeks and film in a different place, or film an entire month of television in one place. I don't even think that would be so bad. Just a little change of scenery. A different city every month would work. That would work out pretty fine. You'd see, this month we're in the Impact Zone. Next month we're somewhere else. TNA always gets a good turnout when they go to the UK. How about maybe doing a couple of weeks of tapings while you're in the UK? They usually get good turnouts in New York, so maybe do 2 weeks of tapings in New York, or 2 weeks of tapings or a month of tapings in New York. Just do 2 different venues. Do like maybe, I don't know, the Hammerstein Ballroom. They did something there, or there's other places. There's small venues you can tape at. Just tape 2 weeks and then come back, tape 2 more weeks. TNA has a fan base, so just gotta take some time and find out where you get the best turnouts, and that's where you tape Impact. Plus, if you do less shows in the Impact Zone crowd will be less jaded. They'll appreciate the shows more, and you won't have such a jaded crowd. Second hope, I hope AJ Styles is turned back to face. I did not like him turning heel this year. From the moment it started, I was trying to think of ways to turn him back. I just don't like seeing AJ as a heel. It just doesn't do it for me. And I also want to see him to eventually feud with Jeff Hardy for the world title and be the guy who takes down Immortal. Third hope is that TNA starts to properly use their legends. I love having legends in TNA. I cannot stand these idiots on the internet who jump around, get rid of all the old guys, or the dudes who just praise Paul Heyman. If you're over 40, I chop your head off. Fuck Heyman. I cannot say fuck Paul Heyman enough. Fuck Paul Heyman. The veterans have a place, and I think they are something that are needed in wrestling, but I feel that TNA is not using them properly. Ric Flair, for example, cut down the number of times he actually wrestles. Every time Ric Flair wrestles, it should be on a pay-per-view, and it should be treated as a big event. At the most, Ric should have 2 matches a year. Honestly, any more than that is overkill. I think this year he may have wrestled 4 or 5 times. Too many. 2 at the most. One of those matches that I'd like to see in 2011 is Ric Flair versus Sting. I would love to see it. I don't know how exactly you would do it. I have some ideas rolling around in my head of how they might do it, but I do want to see Ric Flair versus Sting in TNA sometime in 2011. Just one time. I know both guys are older, but you know what? Those 2 guys are still good enough that they could get in the ring. I still think those 2 could get in the ring and give us 20 good minutes that we love watching. Flair is doing a fantastic job as the manager of Fortune. They come out and wrestle. He cuts amazing promos, and I think that's how it should be. I think that is the best place for Flair now as this great manager. I would love seeing him as the manager of Fortune. But he didn't have to wrestle. You got Beer Money, you got AJ, you got Kazarian doing the wrestling. They can wrestle the matches. Ric Flair cuts great promos to build the feuds up. I also think having Sting as a manager of some new talent would be great. Imagine two great young wrestlers in a feud, putting on good matches, while having Ric Flair and Sting cutting promos to build the matches up. I think you could have some really good stuff there. And I really think that the art of managers in wrestling has been lost, and I would like to see TNA bring that back. I thought they had something good going on at the end of last year with Don West and the Amazing Red, because it's rare that you see babyface managers in wrestling, and I thought you had something really good there, and I would like to see more guys be managed by Don West. But Sting could be a babyface manager. Sting is still a great talker. Yes, he's 50 and he can't wrestle as well anymore, so do what he's still good at. He can still cut promos with the best of them. And I would love to see Sting as a manager for a new guy. It doesn't even have to be a big deal. It could just be, I want to do something different in wrestling, and I've discovered this great talent, and I brought him here to TNA. It could just be some new guy that they bring in and want to push. Even Hulk Hogan, actually. I didn't, after this Immortal thing is done with, I could see even Hulk Hogan coming back as a manager. He doesn't have to wrestle. He doesn't have to get in the ring. He walks down to the ring with his guy. He's in the back cutting, classic Hulk Hogan style promos. The guy could be the new American hero like Hulk Hogan used to be, and Hulk could just be his manager. I mean, that's an instant rub that a guy could get. I'd also like to see the legends used as more of ambassadors for the company. Send Hogan and Flair and Sting to a city to promote upcoming TNA events. That'll help get the buzz out. Promote your events more, which TNA has always had a problem with promotion. But have Hogan, Flair, and Sting in a city. Hogan, Flair, and Sting are all still big enough stars where you get a chance to meet them at a convention or an autograph signing. They'll still get a good turnout. Give them a box with some free stuff in it, some free swag to give out. They sign autographs. Here's a TNA DVD. Here's a T-shirt. Here's a flyer. Blah 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 blah. Give out stuff. Promote the upcoming shows. Have them there in cities talking about when TNA is coming and to buy their tickets. And I'll be there for a special appearance. I think that would be something very good, and that would really help spread awareness and build up your brand recognition. Send them to indie shows to scout new talent. You'll have indie guys busting their ass when they find out Hogan, Flair, or Sting are coming to scout talent for TNA. I mean, you get a shot anywhere if you got 3 stars of that caliber putting in a good word for you. You're guaranteed to at least get a tryout, a good tryout, and possible. If there's somebody who I believe could spread your name around to get you a shot in the company, Hogan, Flair, and Sting would be the guys. If I'm running a company, if I'm running a wrestling promotion, and Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, or Sting were to come to me and say, I see this new young talent, this new guy, I think he's really good, you should give him a shot, no questions asked, I'd give him a shot. I wouldn't have to see a guy, Hogan, Flair, or Sting vouch for this guy, he gets a tryout. I don't have to see a tape, a video, nothing. Tell him when to be there for the tryout. TNA has a relationship with Team 3D's school, and Amazing Red just opened up a new wrestling school, and they could form some sort of business relationship with him. I hear they still have some sort of relationship with Booker T's school, and I think one of the Nasty Boys runs a school too. Send some of these legends down there to check out the new talent. Have them there to give guys tips, or form a partnership with some indie promotion to use as your developmental territory. You send Hogan or Flair and Sting down maybe 1 week each month to talk to the young guy, the new guys training, and give them some pointers and tips. Those are three guys in your company who have a bottomless pit of knowledge. I cannot imagine imagine yourself as an up-and-coming wrestler having a chance to sit and talk to Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Sting. Imagine just the stuff you'd have to learn from these three guys that would help you. I mean, there's no limit to the amount of knowledge they could share with up and coming talent. And plus, even if TNA didn't end up hiring the guy will still be able to get probably be able to increase the number of indie bookings he gets, just because of the fact that he can say, I was trained by Ric Flair, I was trained by Sting, or I was trained by Hulk Hogan. I mean, if Flair trained the guy, you know he's got to be good. I can imagine a crappy wrestler that was trained by Ric Flair. That's almost impossible. But again, there's so much that you could do with the veterans, so much you could do with the legends, both on screen and off screen. On screen, use them as managers or commentators or something. Off screen, they could be ambassadors for your company, they could be talent scouts, they could help with training and developing new talents. So much you could do with them. And I think that TNA has misused a lot and not really fully tapped into the resource they have with the legends, and I hope that they would want to do that more. Let's see here. Next, bring Explosion to America or any other secondary wrestling show. TNA, something I like about TNA is that they do lots of different storylines. They're a very storyline heavy show, but because they do so many storylines, Impact tends to be a bit crowded, which is why the matches are usually short. If you had a secondary show weekly, you can move some of the secondary storylines over to the secondary show and still be able to have more matches on Impact or longer matches. I mean, I said before, I would love to have Explosion to work with and do some more storyline development on there. I would put those Knockouts tag titles on Explosion and have them just be the centerpiece of that show. I could do a lot with those belts if I had that 1 hour Explosion time slot to work with. Also, some of your lower card stories. Maybe you put the current X Division title angle there right now, or they're doing this Brother Ray versus Brother Devon feud. You can put that on Explosion, and you have more time for matches on Impact. Just more time to work with. Nobody's doing a wrestling show on Wednesday or Saturday, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe Impact on Wednesday, Explosion on Thursday. That could work. Or Impact on Thursday, Explosion on Saturday. Let's see. Next hope for 2011 is that Taz is removed as an announcer. Taz gets on my nerves. I miss Don West. Again, though, if you were to bring in a new young guy that's going to be like a tough ass kicker, Taz could be his manager. Might be weird to hear beat him if you can, survive if he lets you. Then you can work on something new. I'd like to see more first from the Knockouts. Like to see them do more of the gimmick matches that we usually don't see women do. I like to see, a Queen of the Mountain match, or an Iron Woman match, or Last Woman Standing match. I think there's some stuff you could really get going with that. I mean, fans of women's wrestling want to see more of the women doing tougher stuff. The fans who just watch women for the eye candy, you have plenty of eye candy. I mean, you still got Cookie and Velvet Sky bouncing around. There's plenty of eye candy on TV, and so those people are going to be satisfied. And plus, the more serious women's wrestling fans like myself would get to see more of the more skilled women doing more tougher styles of wrestling matches. Hope to see more emphasis on the X Division. I'm not as big of an X Division fan as many other people are. I'm not really big on the whole Spot Fest thing, but I think the X Division should be emphasized because it is something that WWE doesn't have. Something that you can do to set yourself apart. And plus, if TNA, I mean, a lot of people are talking about how wrestling needs to find a way to attract the MMA fans back, that wrestling lost fans to MMA and they need to find a way to get them back. I think that some people say they need to be more like MMA, which I think is stupid to say, because if wrestling is just going to be like MMA, then I might as well just watch MMA. Why would I watch fake MMA when I could just watch real MMA? That doesn't make sense when I hear people say be more like MMA. I think wrestling needs to be different from MMA. I think the way you're going to attract the MMA fans to come back and watch wrestling more is to give them something that they can't see in MMA. That's why I think they should emphasize the X division. You can't see that kind of stuff in MMA. There's no high-flying MMA fighters. Emphasize the tag team division, which is already good, but beef it up and make it better. Give the MMA fans something that they don't get from MMA. Something that they like that they don't get from MMA. Like, you can only see this if you watch wrestling. You know, and make it clear, we don't hate MMA. We like MMA too. Be MMA friendly. Let the MMA fans know that you respect MMA and you respect the sport, and the MMA fans will respect you back. I mean, when you really think about it, which company has treated MMA better? TNA or WWE? TNA always has. And people say, oh, they're insulting MMA with this double J thing. No, they're not. They're not insulting MMA. They're having a little fun with it. But, you know, the UFC does stuff with Spike TV just like TNA does. And, you know, there's been MMA fighters like Frank Trigg who've done stuff, and Tito Ortiz have done stuff with MMA. You know, we're just showing like, oh, hey, we like MMA too. We like your guys, and, you know, we love to do more work with you. But we're going to give the MMA fans something that they're not getting from MMA. So we want you to come and watch. The last thing I hope to see from TNA is 2011 is I want to see TNA stand up for themselves more. You know, there's a lot of stupid people in the IWC who say stupid shit about TNA, and I just wish TNA would challenge them more. Call these people out on their crap more. I mean, I love listening to that clip of Eric Bischoff calling into that Blog Talk Radio show and just school that guy on all the stupid stuff he was saying. I wish they would do it more. No, the next time some idiot on the internet says stuff like, I could book the show better than the TNA creative team, I would love if Dixie Carter just said, alright, do it. Type up some stuff on a blog site, type up 6 months of TV and pay-per-views and post it. Let's see what you got. Because if you challenge people to do it, most of them back down. I've done it before. I've challenged so many people who say I could book the show better to actually do it, and they almost all back down. I've been doing it for over a year, and so far I've only really come across 2 people who have legitimately done it. Booked out a couple months of TV and tried to put it out there for you to see. And wow, I'm already at past 17 minutes. Okay, you know what? That's the end of my list, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. So to recap one quick time, my host for TNA in 2011: leave the impact zone, turn AJ Styles heel, use the legends better, bring Explosion or another second show to America, remove Taz as an announcer, see the Knockouts do more stuff, more emphasis on the X division and the other things that set you apart from WWE and MMA, be an alternative to both, and stand up for yourselves. So, I hope you enjoy listening to this video. If anyone in TNA happens to listen to this video, I just want you to know that I love what you do. I'm a big fan of your company, and I hope that you have continued growth and success in 2011. If you like my videos, please subscribe. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thanks for listening. Have a happy new year.